Welcome, my name is Sam Leicht and I'm a health coach based in New York City. Today, we're gonna go through just about everything you need to know to get started with any of my fitness programs. I'm going to be introducing new topics and terminology, and then we are going to put them into practice with a couple of short workouts throughout. Let's hop right in. First thing we're gonna learn today is the squat and hip hinge positions. These are two of the fundamental building blocks of movement, so we are going to learn them and learn them well. For the squat, we are going to start in a shoulder width stance with our feet. This is a little bit wider than you may expect, and we're gonna have a slight turnout to the toes. From here, I want you to think about keeping your chest as tall as possible and sitting back into a chair. Let's squat down, keep that chest up, and stand, and squat, and stand, and squat, and stand. Good. Next thing I want you to keep in mind is our knees should be tracking out over our toes throughout the entire squat. Especially when we add tempo, when we add weight, our knees are gonna wanna cave in. This is called valgus knees, and we want to externally rotate our hips to make sure that our knees track out over our toes. We also wanna make sure that our weight is evenly distributed throughout our feet, throughout the entire squat. So we want to avoid having our weight in our toes, then our heels come up, and we want to avoid our weight being in our heels so that our toes come up, right? Our weight should be evenly distributed, our big toe should be pressing into the ground. With that in mind, let's squat down, and stand, and squat, and stand, and squat, and stand. Good. Last thing I want you to keep in mind, I only want you to go as low in your squat as you can go while keeping your lower back as tight as possible. So, what that means, when I'm going down in a squat, I want you to think about keeping that chest up, sending those hips back. But if I go too low in a squat, my lower back will start to round, right? And that can lead to injury. So we're only gonna go as low in a squat as we can go while keeping our lower back nice and tight. And that may mean halfway down in the squat and then standing back up. As you get more comfortable in the squat, you'll be able to get lower and more stable. Let's do 3 more squats together, keeping that lower back nice and tight, only going as low as you can go in that squat. Here we go, and squat, and stand, and squat, stand, squat, and stand. For the hip hinge, we are going to be starting with our feet in a hip width stance. So this is a mistake I see all the time of people trying to do the hip hinge in their squat position. We want to have our feet directly underneath our hips, which is a pretty narrow stance. The hip hinge also will be called a good morning throughout the program, so just know that the terminology will be used interchangeably. From here, with your feet directly underneath your hips, you're gonna have your hands behind your head, bring those elbows back. We're gonna really tighten up our upper back position, soften our knees, send our hips back, feel that big stretch in our hamstrings and our glutes, and stand. And soften the knees, send the hips back, and stand. Soften our knees, send our hips back, and stand. So directly correlates to us doing a deadlift. It directly correlates to us picking up our groceries with a flat back. And therefore, we need to be super sure that our lower back is staying nice and tight. Just like the squat, we have to make sure that we're only going as low in our good morning position as we can go while keeping our back tight. If our back is starting to round, that's putting our back in a position of potential injury, right? So with that in mind, I want you to pull your elbows back behind your head, soften your knees, send your hips back, go as low as you can go in that good morning or hip hinge position, and stand, soften your knees, send your hips back, feel that big stretch in your hamstrings and your glutes, and stand. One more, soften the knees, send the hips back, and stand. Okay, now that we've learned the squat and hip hinge positions, we are going to put them into a little workout. There are tons of workout types, and today we are going to go through 6 of them, starting with the Amrap. Amrap stands for as many rounds as possible. So I'll give you something like a 4-minute Amrap of 5 squats and 3 hip hinges. This means that you are going to be doing 5 squats and 3 hip hinges as many times as possible in that 4-minute period. During this time, you are going to count your total rounds, and that is your score for the workout. Let's give it a try. 4-minute Amrap, 5 squats, and 3 hip hinges. Going in 3, 2, 1, here we go. 5 squats. And 3 hip hinges. We'll also be calling these hip hinges good mornings throughout the program. Going back into our squats. Thinking about driving our knees out, keeping our chest up. Make sure our full foot is on the ground. For these good mornings, make sure that we're changing our stance from our shoulder width position with the squats. Our feet should be directly underneath our hips for these good mornings. That's good, nice and consistent tempo here. That's 2 minutes. Making sure we're only going as low in our good morning as we can go with our lower back staying nice and tight. Keep it up, keep it up. Last minute. Make sure technique is staying at 100%. "30 seconds. All the way to the end. Three, 2, 1, and rest. Great. Next, we're going to talk about reps, sets, and tempo. Tempo is an essential part of this program, and you are absolutely not going to be getting the most out of your training sessions if you don't fully understand this concept. We use tempo during strength work because it allows us to slow down movements so that we can move better and correct imbalances to avoid injury in the future. It also allows us to mimic stimulus of heavy weight on our body without actually having to move heavy weight. So, what is tempo? Tempo is putting a count to different segments of a movement. Let's break it down. When I write tempo for you, there will be 4 numbers in parentheses. Let's use the squat, for example. Say I gave you a 3-3-3-1 tempo on a squat. The first number will always be the initiation of the movement. So we'll be doing 3 seconds on the way down, a 3-second hold at the bottom, 3 seconds on the way up, and then a 1 second hold at the top before going into your next rep. Let's try 3 of these together. For that 3-3-3-1 tempo squat, we're going to start with our shoulder width stance. Let's do it together. Going down on a 3, 2, 1, hold, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, hold, down, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, hold, down, last one, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, hold. So this is pretty easy, right? There's one more thing you're going to see in the program, and that is the X in the tempo equation. It could look something like this. We'll use the hip hinge for this example. Say I gave you a 5-5-X1 tempo for the hip hinge position. That's 5 seconds on the way down, 5-second hold at the bottom, and the X signifies that you finish the movement as quickly and as controlled as possible. So think of the X as a fraction of a second. The 1 signifies you will hold at the top for 1 second before starting your next rep. Let's do 3 of them together. For that tempo hip hinge, we are going to be doing a 5-5-X1 tempo. So we're going to start with our hands behind our head, feet directly underneath our hips, soften your knees, send your hips back on a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up, hold, down, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, up, hold. Last one, down, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, up, hold. That is tempo. You're going to have tempo on at least one movement every single day. Use a timer to hold yourself accountable, and don't ignore the tempo just because it's hard or annoying. It's essential so that we can get the results that we want to achieve. Now, reps and sets are a little more straightforward. Say that you read 4x6 pause crunches with 30 seconds of rest between sets. Here's how to break that down. Reading from left to right, this means that we will be doing 4 sets of 6 reps each. When we do 6 pause crunches and rest for 30 seconds, that is 1 set, and we will be doing 4 sets total. Next movement we are going to learn is the push-up. We are going to first go through some push-up technique, and then put it into a new workout type. This is how I want you to be doing your push-ups from now on. Regardless of how you've learned push-ups in the past, this is your push-up now. You're gonna start with your wrists directly underneath your shoulders, and I don't want us to be in a wide stance, and I also don't want us to be in a narrow stance unless it's specified by the workout. With our wrists directly underneath our shoulders, we're gonna find our high plank position, thinking about tucking my tail, squeezing my butt. We're gonna be in this hollow position, so I don't want you to have an arch in your back. Tuck your butt. From here, I'm going to initiate the movement by sending my elbows back, keeping them close to my body, touching my chest to the floor, and then pushing all the way back up to full lockout. Elbows are gonna stay completely close to my sides, touch my chest to the floor, full lockout. If we are scaling to a knee push-up, the technique stays exactly the same. We're gonna make sure that our core is nice and tight in that hollow position. Our wrists are directly underneath our shoulders. From here, I'm going to initiate that movement by sending my elbows back close to my side, touch my chest to the ground, push all the way back up to lockout. Chest to the ground, full lockout at the top. Now that we know how to do the push-up, we are going to put it into a workout that is called rounds for time. For this workout, we are going to do 3 rounds for time of 5 push-ups and 10 sit-ups. Your score for this workout is the total time it takes you to complete those 3 rounds. Let's do it. Here we go. Starting with those 5 push-ups. Choose whether you're going to be doing full push-ups or knee push-ups today. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Flip over. Butterfly your feet together. Sit up nice and tall. Touch behind you. Touch in front of you. That's 1, 2, 3. Sit up as tall as possible. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Flip over into your push-up position. 1, 2, keep those elbows close to your body. 3, 4, core tight, and 5. Sit-ups, butterfly your feet together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. One more round. Back to those push-ups. Pull your belly button to your spine. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Last 10 sit-ups. 1, sit up tall. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You'll notice in this program that we don't shy away from cardio. Feel free to switch up the cardio to a movement that you enjoy, whether that's rowing, biking, swimming, or even the elliptical. We know cardio strengthens our heart and lungs, but it also trains movement patterns that we'll need for the rest of our lives. The routes you create now are going to have a huge payout in the long run. We need to teach our body how to enjoy cardio. Next workout type we are going to learn is called an EMOM. EMOM stands for every minute on the minute. There are a few different variations we'll be going through. Here's a standard EMOM I might ask you to do. Minute 1, alternating reverse lunges. Minute 2, pause crunches. Minute 3, no push-up burpees. If I asked you to do a 6-minute EMOM, that would mean you'd do lunges for the first minute, and then when the second minute starts, you'd do pause crunches, and the third minute would be no push-up burpees. Then you'd repeat the pattern. We're gonna try that now. Going in 3, 2, 1. Take a big step back, gently tap your back knee to the ground, and explode up. We're gonna be alternating for these lunges. Find a pace that you can maintain for the full minute. Keep your chest up. Make sure that front knee is tracking over your toe. Seconds. Seconds. Going into pause crunches. 3, 2, 1. Lay down on your back, hands behind the head, knees up. Hips come off the ground and shoulders come off the ground, and pause at the top. Think about really squeezing as hard as possible. Give me a 1-second pause at the top before going into the next rep. Seconds. Really squeeze, really squeeze. Ten seconds. And then we'll be going into no push-up burpees. 2, 1. Stand up. Hands are going to go down onto the ground. Jump your feet out into a high plank position. Jump your feet back in and jump and clap. Make sure that that high plank position is nice and tight. We're in a hollow position with our core. We don't want to see any kind of back arch. The hop at the top doesn't need to be big. 30 seconds. Seconds. And then we'll be going back into reverse lunges. 3, 2, 1. Reverse lunges, here we go. Biggest thing I want you to focus on is gently tapping your back knee to the ground every single rep. Control the descent, control the ascent. Notice that my front knee is tracking out over my toes. Ten seconds, then we'll be going into pause crunches. 3, 2, 1. Here we go, pause crunches. I love this movement because it does a really good job of targeting your lower and upper abs in one movement. Make sure we're really getting our hips off of the floor and we are pausing at the top. Thirty seconds. Seconds, and we'll be going into no push-up burpees, our last minute of work. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Try and find a rhythm with these no push-up burpees and maintain it throughout the entire minute. That's good, keep it up. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Now, you might see us doing an EMOM that is the same idea, but it's 40 seconds of work and 20 seconds of rest. We could use the same exercises we just practiced, but rather than working the whole minute, you get 20 seconds of built-in rest to transition to the next movement. I'm not gonna make you give this one a try. I think you understand the concept, so let's move on to a special type of EMOM called Tabata. Tabata means that you are going to do 8 rounds of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. We love Tabata, so you'll be seeing a lot of these in the program. Let's try one of my favorites. We're gonna be doing Tabata Bicycles today. So let's lean back, hands behind your head, bring your shoulders off the ground, left elbow to right knee, right elbow to left knee. And then we're gonna be alternating. 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Going in 3, 2, 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and rest. 2, 1, and go. Thinking about getting our shoulders off of the ground, staying nice and controlled. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Make sure to really use your rest time. 3, 2, 1, and go. Just so you know, I think this is the hardest Tabata. 3, 2, 1, and rest. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, and rest. You are halfway. 3, 2, 1, and go. 3, 2, 1, rest. 3, 2, 1, and go. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Just 2 to go. You got this. Breathe. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Three, 2, 1, and rest. Last one. 3, 2, 1. Let's finish it out. Three, 2, 1, and rest. Such good work. Next workout type is called a chipper. Chippers are nice because you're only going through each of the movements one time. Here's an example. 30 jumping jacks, 20 alternating forward lunges, and 10 push-ups. Yes, the reps are usually a bit higher for a chipper, but you're only going through the series once, so a lot of people really like these workouts. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Starting with the jumping jack. 3, 2, 1, here we go. 30 jumping jacks. Keep your core tight. Touch your hands over your head every single rep. Once you hit 30 jumping jacks, we're going to go into 20 alternating forward lunges. So again, we're thinking about controlling the descent, gently touching our back knee to the ground and exploding up. Keep your chest up. Make sure you're touching your knee to the ground every single rep. You're doing 20 alternating forward lunges. Shake it out when you need, then hop right back in when you can. Once you finish those forward lunges, you're going to be going directly into 10 push-ups, chipping away at this workout. For these push-ups, find a really solid high plank position. Initiate the movement by sending those elbows back close to your body. Touch your chest to the floor. Full lockout at the top. Every single rep. Shake it out if you need. And then hop right back into it. Finish this workout out strong. Killer job. Lastly, for our workout types, you'll see some intervals. Intervals are a type of Amrap with a twist. Say that our interval was 2 rounds of 2 minutes on, 1 minute off of 10 tricep extensions, 10 plank knee to elbow, and 10 glute bridges. That would mean you'd be doing a 2-minute Amrap of these 3 movements, and then a rest for 1 minute. And then after that minute of rest, you would pick up where you left off with the 2-minute Amrap. Let's give it a try. For this 2-minute Amrap, we're gonna start with our 10 tricep extensions. Let's get on our bum. Fingertips are facing forward. Here we go. Elbows should be going straight back, isolating our triceps by squeezing at the top. We're doing 10 reps here. And then we're going to move on to our plank knee to elbow. Find that solid high plank position. Send that right knee to your left elbow, left knee to your right elbow. Pulling your belly button to the spine, squeezing your core, doing 10 reps here. We'll flip over onto our back, into some glute bridges. Drive through your heels, send your hips up to the sky. We're trying to isolate our glute here, have a maximum glute squeeze. Again, doing 10 reps. Once you finish those glute bridges, you're going to go back into those tricep extensions. We're seeing how many rounds of this we can get in this 2-minute period. Into plank knee to elbow. Into glute bridges. We're not moving quickly, but we're not moving slowly. We're moving with purpose. Back into tricep extensions. And rest. 1 minute of rest. So remember where you left off. After a minute of rest, that's where you will be picking back up. You may not be exactly where I am. That's totally fine. We're doing 10 reps of each movement. About 30 more seconds. Ten. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Pick up where you left off. Making sure that our movement quality stays 100% throughout the entire workout. About 1 more minute. If you need to take rest, take it. Hop right back in when you can. Keep it up, keep it up. We are resting in 3, 2, 1, and rest. One of the last things I want to mention to you is this concept of supersetting. When you see something in your program like A1 and A2 or B1, B2, B3, that means that these exercises are superset. You're going to do one set of exercise A1 and then one set of exercise A2. There are a lot of reasons why we might superset, one of them being that it's a good use of time while you're resting one muscle group to work another muscle group, or you might be trying to overload a certain muscle group, so you might superset similar exercises together. Be on the lookout. If the exercise just has A, B, C, etc., you're going to do all of the sets of exercise A before moving on to exercise B. If the exercise has A1, A2, or B1, B2, you're going to be alternating between these exercises until you finish all of your sets. I'm super specific about how fast movements should be and how long to rest in between movements. These aren't arbitrary numbers I picked out. They are purposefully programmed because they're going to help you build control and strength and capacity, and even though this isn't our main goal, I think you're going to be proud of what you see in the mirror. Now, looking good is never going to be our primary goal here, but that doesn't mean that it's not a huge cherry on top after you've been working on doing better, feeling better, and moving better. There are always going to be exercises that challenge you or that you can't do yet. This is a good thing. It means that you have room to grow. And I'm going to be giving you the resources to learn new skills and scale movements appropriately. I'm always here if you need more individualized scaling help. Inevitably, there's going to be other types of workouts and other questions that you have throughout this program, but I hope that this gave you a crash course on some of the terminology and things to expect during these workouts. If you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I am so proud that you decided to take this amazing step towards sustainable health, and I'm so glad that you're here.